Yeah, I've given some assignments to you. So have you gone through the devices, I mean the interactive devices, the hardware, which are required in computer graphics, like input devices and output devices? Have you gone through? And can you please name a set of input devices which you have gone through? Can you please name? You can also write in the chat box. Yeah, am I audible? Yeah, Anurag, am I audible? Yeah, I have given few assignments to you. Those are nothing but the hardware which are associated with computer graphics systems, the interactive devices, the input devices as well as the output devices. So can you please name if you have gone through the input devices? Can you please name few input devices, what you are using, and yeah, I could see some of the answers, the keyboard, mouse, joystick, right? Although joystick we are not using right now. And there are few others, if you can go through just the history, that what are the other type of input devices uh, which were used in earlier time, uh, like data globe, digitizers. You can go through. Please go through. And scanners, I think somebody has written. Yeah, touch panel is also one type of input devices. Please go through it. And there is something called as the light pens. You just go through it, light pen, and these are all called as input devices. So similarly, what are the output devices you have gone through? Yeah, there are so many output devices that you all know that which gives outputs. Yeah, I could see some answers also in the chat box. We'll also discuss a little bit about, like as I mentioned, that you what is what we call it as a cathode ray tube and random scan and raster scan display. Also, we'll discuss. Typically, the primary output device in any graphics system actually is a video monitor, right? Video monitor. The operation of most of the video monitors based on standard cathode ray tube, which we call it as a CRT. But several other technologies exist also, like solid state monitors. We'll discuss. And right now, what is there in our syllabus is nothing but the old things. But what we are using recently is like nothing but LCD and LED, right? So we can say what is the full form of LCD and LED. what we are using right now? Do you have any idea? I hope you all know, right? Yeah. Liquid crystal display and light emitting diode display. It is called as uh, LCD and LED. What we are using, but what is there in our syllabus is nothing but the old monitor, which is based on the cathode ray tube design. Right? We'll see it. Okay, so before we discuss all these display devices and all, so let me quickly discuss or show you few outputs what we can generate from a graphics system, and we'll also see few packages which are required to implement or to draw some pictures, right? Yeah. So these are the all various application packages or software packages and standard in computer graphics. So you can see here the standards. The standards are like core graphics, GKS. I'll explain it later on. I mean, I'll expand the term as well. ZKS, sRGP, FIX, speaks these are all different standards available in computer graphics, and it got evolved over time. And the most important standard is OpenGL, what we generally or what industry is using and we generally will use. And X11 based also system is also another standard. It's basically run in a Linux system, right? So these are all you can say the packages or the standards basically which is used, right? And what is the need of the standard? Let me ask you one question. So have you heard about something called as ISO or ANSI, right? Okay. I've not shared my screen. I hope so. Now is it visible? Yeah. Now is my screen visible? Nitin? Okay. Okay, fine. So see here, so the packages and the standards which are there in computer graphics, actually it got evolved over the time. GKS, sRGP, FIX, OpenGL, the most important one, X1, X11, also mostly run in Linux system, but also can be run in a Windows system, that's fine. OpenGL we'll see. And these are all the standards which are basically used. So what I want to ask here is, what do you mean by standard and why a standard is required, right? Why standard is required, and what is this ISO and ANSI? Have you heard about this? You are from computer science background, so you should know, right? What is this ANSI, ANSI? What is ISO, and what are those actually? What's the job of ISO and ANSI? I'm waiting for your response. Please respond quickly. So what are the different C standards? C programming language you have read, right? What are the different C standards you know? What are the different C programming standards you know? Have you heard about something called as C89, C99? ऐसा कुछ है क्या? So what is that exactly? Standard. You can switch on your mic and tell the answer as well. If you don't want to write the big statement over there. And you can switch on the mic and you can tell the answer if you know. It's really important to know what is standard. And there are two bodies basically, like ISO and ANSI, who provides the standards. Are you listening me? I hope so. Yeah, Vishnu has written the full form of ANSI and yes. So ultimately, I found some answers given by Pransu and Nitin. Pransu has written a set of rules to be followed by all. So that means a standard is required, or else, and Nitin has written standard basically facts that everyone agrees on. Fine. So there are few bodies which are available, and the job of those bodies like ISO and ANSI is to provide a set of rules, syntax to be followed by everyone, or else there will be problem. We all know that, right? So that's what also happened with C. C was originally developed in 1970s, but it got standardized in 1989. So once it got standardized, there is a rule fixed so that you can use only this syntax. You cannot go beyond that. If you go beyond that, so there will be some error and all, right? So everybody has to follow some same rules and regulations, and which is required, right? Or else there will be problem. There will be difference in programs. Even if you all are writing C programs, but the way you will write and the way you are handling everything will be different, right? So that is why standardization is very, very important. And these are all called as standards, right? So let us quickly go through a few important standards which has been extensively used in earlier days. So like GKS, as I mentioned, so GKS otherwise known as graphics kernel system, and it was standardized by ISO and ANSI, as I mentioned, is one of the oldest standard in computer graphics, and it remained for a long time. For a long time, people used this standard graphics kernel system. And then after that, sRGP came into the picture for a short while, called a simple raster graphics package, simple raster graphics package. So then in 1990s and before that also, the PIX was very famous. The standard people were using. The programmer's hierarchical interactive graphics system. This is all standard as I mentioned. And this OpenGL is still people are using and in industries and in academics as well. And the job is to simply load the packages into the system, and then there'll be functions. There'll be all, you all know what is a package and all. And if you load it, and you can use some of the functions to draw the pictures, right? So OpenGL is one of the most famous graphics library we generally use. And these standards are basically runs on different platforms like DOS, Windows, Linux, Solaris, Mac, and all. And this OpenGL is very well known in platforms like Windows and Linux, right? So it can be run on Windows, it can be run on Linux. So you'll see later on that what is OpenGL and how to use this graphics library to draw these lines and all these primitives. Whatever we know, we'll see later on. Yeah, so there are various utilities and tools available for web-based computer graphics is also internet. So wherever we are, I mean, in internet, you'll find a lot of applications of computer graphics. So various utilities and tools are available for web-based design include Java, XML, VRML, and GIF animators. You better know, right, that Java has something which is basically used for web-based design. So who can say how many of you have a little bit of idea about Java and all? I hope you all know Python as well, but how many of you have studied Java? And if you have studied Java, have you ever done or have you ever written a program which is basically used to create web page and all? So do you have any idea about Java? So what are the languages you basically know? C, C++. Yeah, applet is the concept. Very good, Asutosh. Applet is the concept. Yeah, C++. Anurag has written C++ and Python. What about C, Anurag? C you don't know? And later on he has written C. Okay. So yes, one concept from object-oriented programming you should know. And C++ and Java both are coming under these categories. Um, However, there's a big difference in C++ and Java. If you go through, there are few strains in Java. And Java is basically called as a purely object-oriented languages, and sometimes also called as both compiled and interpreted languages. So you need to go through at least some basic difference on the basic concepts, what is there in Java, what is not there in C++. Please go through it. It may take actually one day to learn all these things, because if you know C and C++, so I think you may take 2-3 days to at least learn the concepts. I mean, the different type of concepts which are there in Java. And Python is not at all a difficult job for anyone, even for, I mean, basically for you guys, because you are from computer science background, and Python is so easy to learn. So I don't think that, even I don't call Python as a language, I call Python as a tool. So it is really easy to understand. And but however, Python has a lot of applications nowadays. People are talking about. So what we are talking about is computer graphics and image processing. This is all, and people are right now mostly using Python, because you all know it's an open package, right? Okay, fine. Again, coming back to our discussion, that the various utilities and tools we have discussed, and there are certain compilers. There are certain compilers such as Visual C, C++, Visual Basic, Borland C or C++, Borland Pascal, Turbo C, Turbo Pascal, GNU C, and C++. Java provides their own graphical libraries or API, application programming interface, and support and help for programming 2D and 3D graphics, right? But have you ever done any programming? I mean, have you ever written any programming which is basically used to create some 2D graphics or 3D? We should not discuss right now 2D graphics. I don't think so. I mean, some of you have written. I think one day I asked also the same question. Some of you have written, yes, sir. Some of you have tried earlier. So we'll try also in this particular course. We have some laboratories, so you should try over here. And there are some systems. There are some systems which are called as, I mean, some graphic systems which are called as device independent, and there are some systems which are called as device dependent. So who can explain me this term, device independent and device dependent? I hope you already know what is this device independent and device dependent. Of course, the device independent is the good one. And basically, if you use this open graphics library and X11 standards or like these packages, so then the programs, whatever you will write, I should not tell the answers right now. Please answer me that what is device independent and what is device dependent. Do expecting a quick answer from you. Any idea about device independent graphic systems based on device independent or device dependent? Yeah, Ankit has written something in the chat box. Let us read it out. Yeah, independent means the right ones run everywhere. You do not have to change the code across different platforms in case of device independent. That is very good. So very good. Absolutely good answers. Uh, yeah, but and that's what we also want, right? So we should not write such a code that cannot be run in other systems. Sometimes we don't know that whether we have to run the same code in other systems or not. So what we have to do is we have to write such a code which can run in different platforms, right? So that is what is called as a device independent and device dependent that you all know, right? And yeah, so coming to the basic primitives, the basic elements which are required for drawing any complex picture, for drawing any types of computer graphics picture, I mean pictures based on computer graphics, is nothing but here it is I've listed the four actually or basic output primitives actually basically which are required for drawing some complex pictures, even pictures with difficulties. So polylines basically what we call as a polyline. And just a second. So when we talk about a line, let's say we are having two different points, x1, y1, x2, y2, and we know how to draw a line if 2 points are given, right? If we have n set of points, right? If we have n set of points as point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, point 5, and that means I'm going to explain right now what is polyline. If I'll connect from point 1 to point 2, then point 2 to point 3, then up to uh, point 3 to point 4 and so on up to point n. So this will become a polyline, and it has a lot of applications we all know, because line is basically acting as a very important thing to draw certain pictures, right? And this polyline, as I mentioned, that you have to join several points together. Uh, and when we talk about polygons, polygons is also playing an important role while drawing several complex pictures. So but don't look at this field and non-field and all this. So let us only talk about polygons. So let's say I have few points, maybe in the polyline. So just consider a case when the polyline becomes polygons. Do you have any idea? When the polylines, I mean, I'm considering only one case, not all polylines will become polygons, but there may be a case where polyline becomes polygons. Maybe you have to do few, or you have to include one more line to create this. So can you just think of that how polylines will become polygons? Yeah, Tabi says quickly answered the question. Yeah. Join the polylines. We are joining the polylines, but maybe the starting point and the end point, right? If you will join, Anurag. That's what you are saying, right? Yeah. Hmm. So that means the closed polylines. Very nice answer. A closed polylines will become polygons. Very good. And yeah. So one more important thing is because while you are drawing pictures, so lines are required, polygons are required, and curves are also required, right? Curves. So this is so important to draw the curves. So how will you draw the curves? Basically, we will be mm, focusing on the arcs. And when we talk about the arcs, so we'll be looking at the ellipse. So when we talk about ellipse, so sometimes we also require circle, right? So is a circle is I mean, can we draw a circle from an ellipse? Is it possible? I think you better than know, right? So can we draw a circle from an ellipse? Is it possible? So is circle is a special case of an ellipse? Okay. So Most of you have answered it. Yes, that's fine. So that means the arcs, I mean the curves, the circles, and all these related things can be drawn using this ellipse, right? Right. And the two other important things which are required in any required in any graphic system to draw complex pictures. Our job is to draw the pictures here, right? And the most important thing, so how to draw the text, how to increase the font size, how to increase and how to use different fonts, right? That is also what is required, and which are required also sometimes whenever we are designing some posters, or banners and all. And the last but not the least is nothing but the raster image. That is so important here, how to draw the images. Image is sometimes difficult to draw. Then there are few real world images which are typically difficult to draw by the any graphic system, to draw by any graphic systems, because there are few patterns sometimes which are not possible. I mean, very challenging, very challenging. I'll show you also one example where maybe some graphic systems fail, but right now there are so many sophisticated graphic systems are available through which you can also create natural images or the patterns which are very difficult even using these primitives. So now it is also possible to draw, but it's really challenging sometimes. And our job is to design such a graphic system or to use such primitives which can give a very close answer, right? Very close answer. So yeah, so computer graphics is nowadays a significant component of almost all systems, right, and applications of computers in every field of life. And now every computer is equipped with some graphics chips, and what we are talking about right now is always GPUs, graphics processing unit. And you all know, whoever is using right now the laptops and systems, almost all of you are using laptops equipped with some graphics, even a separate graphics card, or maybe the graphics card which is already embedded with this Intel and all. So this is what the importance of this computer graphics right now, right? So now I'm going to show you few outputs, what are I mean, which has been derived by using some graphic systems. Very interesting outputs if you will see here. And the outputs like here, if you look at the wireframe model, you see how sometimes difficult it is to draw, and we cannot draw it by hand, right? It is very difficult. So with the help of the computer and these all primitives, it is possible to draw this sphere, right? And one more example I would like to give you, that simple 3D solid objects. It is required, right? It is required sometimes. Uh, just a second. Hello. Class रे ଅଛି କରୁଛି. Yeah, so if you look at the solid objects of different types, and the first one, if you look at the solid objects, right, it's a 3D solid objects, and we'll discuss about this, what is this 3D and 2D later on, and we'll also discuss, as I mentioned, few transformations on 2D objects and 3D objects, like translation, rotation, scaling, reflection, searing. How will you tilt the object? How will you make a mirror image of an object? Rotate, how will you rotate by certain angle? Scaling, how will you change the size of this object? We'll see it in 2D as well as 3D, right? And here you just see some of the outputs which I want to show. These have been generated by an graphic system of different circles, I mean the spheres and all, if you can see here. And so different types of so this is the part, actually the job of the graphic systems, to design this. And what graphic people are doing some courses. I think you heard about the courses like graphics design, or all people are, some people are calling them as a graphics designer, right? So it is their job to design such type of things, right? So these are, I just want to show you that what type of the objects which are being created uh, by the graphic systems. So if you look at the graphic and some of the outputs here, okay, sphere with hollow, right? Sphere with a hole. If you see here, 3D solid object with hole, and it looks like a very mm, simple, but it is very difficult to create such type of structure or 3D solid object. But it looks very real, right? It looks very real. So 3D object always gives a reality, and that's what you all know. And yeah, setting effects, one of the most important applications for computer graphics. And yeah, so this is what I want to show you. Yeah, so texture. So texture, you will find everywhere, you will find some patterns, right? Whenever you are looking at some objects in the world, every object is associated with, every object in the world is associated with some patterns. Maybe 2D patterns, maybe 3D patterns, but that depends upon um, the requirement and the way you are viewing it, right? So if you look at the textures which are there pretty symmetric in nature, which are there, I mean, there are two figures in the left hand side, if you can see. So textures helps us to visualize the shape and structure of 3D objects. If you look at here, so the shapes looks very symmetric in nature, right? Very symmetric, and which we can think of drawing this type of structures. I mean, the 3D objects with these structures, by the help of the graphic system, right? But just look at a real world image which is there in the right hand side. I mean, the image which has been captured from a sea or a pond or wherever, right? It's nothing but a image of image which is captured from a sea or a pond, wherever water is there, right? So if you just look at the patterns, it looks like a very random pattern, right? So now, if I will give you a task to generate this picture with the help of the graphic system on the primitives, whatever you know, can you do it? So you will definitely try to do it, and we call this type of texture as a stochastic texture, because it is very, very difficult to come closer. I mean, whatever you will design, so it will be very difficult, and this has been a very challenging job in the field of computer graphics to draw this type of images, right? So it is really difficult. And why it is difficult? Because it has random patterns, right? And there are few primitives which may not capture all these things, the patterns, whatever is present in the images, right? So this is where sometimes may computer graphic system fail, but our job is to come up with an image which is closer to this image, right? Is closer to this image. So there are few concepts, or there are few things, or maybe the modern or sophisticated computer graphic systems may help you in getting a closer image like the real world image what I have shown right now, right? So these are all important things we should discuss. And now let us quickly discuss one more thing, which is nothing but, yeah, just a second, image. We'll discuss the display devices, different display devices in the next class. So let me quickly explain what do you mean by image, and you have to tell me the answer that what do you mean by an image. When we talk about, because just now we've talked about something called as an image, and let me quickly discuss what do you mean by an image. So, and what it consists of. Yeah. So what is an image and what it consists of? Yes. Image consists of pixels. Okay. So how can we define a pixel? It's the smallest element in the screen. Okay. It's a definition, but can we can you define it? I mean, mathematically, pixels, and why we're getting these colors in the screen and all? Whatever the images you are capturing through your camera, mobile camera, or maybe your some other cameras you are doing it. And have you ever seen the pixel values or you can also see the pixels or the same thing. You can see it if the image size is less, and if you zoom it at least, and you can see also the different pixels and the color values. But when you combine together, it forms something or some shapes and all, right? So image consists of pixels, okay, and it is stored in a matrix. Absolutely correct, fine. And pixels has two different things, and what we are talking about is only discrete, right? We are not talking about any analog image and nothing else, right? Because we have to ultimately draw the image in a digital computer and process the image using a digital computer. So that's why we are only talking about digital image, right? We are not talking about any analog image and all. And there are cameras and there are few things analog to digital converter, whichever is there, which maybe used to convert the analog images to digital image. So what we are getting ultimately is nothing but the digital image, which consists of, or which is composed of different pixels, a set of pixels, and each pixel is having two different things. Please remember, one is the coordinate and one is the intensity values, right? It should have some coordinate and it should have some intensity values or the color values, which is and basically when we're talking about these images, so images are of three types basically. One is binary image, one is 8-bit or grayscale image, and one is color image, right? So what we generally see is always the color image, that's true. But there are few images like medical images and all, few like X-ray. Have you seen the X-ray images? X-ray images, have you gone through? Is it a color image or black and white images or what? X-ray images, have you gone through sometimes? Have you experienced it? X-ray images. Yeah, X-ray images. So mostly X-ray images are, and you have seen, right? So black and white X-ray images, and there are also few other medical images which are black and white, right? So when you talk about black and white, I mean the color values. It all depends upon the color values. And in color images, there will be three different planes. We'll discuss in detail again later on. There will be three different planes, and the three different planes means red, green, and blue. And again in every different, in three different planes we'll have color values. I mean, for one pixel you will get three different values, for R, for G, for B, right? So in three different values you will get it. And the pixel, the intensity range for binary image, who can say? Binary means only black and white, right? Binary, when you talk about binary means there will be two values, that's true. But what will be the values in case of binary image? If the image is a binary image, let's say, and when we talk about an image, we'll discuss again in later. uh, we'll discuss later. When we talk about the image, as I mentioned, so it should be treated as a, mathematically it is nothing but a two-dimensional matrix, right? Having a number of rows and columns, fine. And as I mentioned, and every one, each one is called as a pixel, and pixel. And each of the pixel has some coordinates and has some intensity values as well. So maybe this an image of size 4 cross 4, right? And if my image is having resolution 4 cross 4 or size 4 cross 4, that means 4 number of rows and 4 number of columns, the width and height we can say. So then who can say what will be the total number of pixel in this image? Total number of pixels. Yeah, the total number of pixels will be, of course, 16, right? And we'll discuss later on. We'll discuss what we say is resolution. Okay, that we'll see and all. And we'll also discuss about the size. So when we talk about 8 megapixel camera, 6 megapixel camera, 2 megapixel camera, right? So which one is better, 8 megapixel camera or 2 megapixel camera? 8 megapixel camera. Okay, okay. So why? Do you have any idea that why this 8 megapixels camera is better? So what we call is, if you capture the images from 8 megapixel camera, that looks very good. Okay, that will not have any square effect. That will not have any square effect. मतलब क्या है रे? जब हम जूम करते हैं ना, कोई बोलता है ना, अरे फट जाता है यार, ये कौन सी इमेज उठा लिया, ऐसे बोलते हैं ना हम लोग, राइट? Yeah, number of pixels will be more within the same area. The correct answer, the number of pixels per unit length is more, compared to yes, that's correct. The number of pixels will be more per unit length. We'll also discuss later on. Fine. And also we'll discuss how to calculate the size of an image. Let's say size of an image, right? So let's say there are four number of rows and 4 number of columns. I mean, the width and height of the image is given to us, and it is also given that every bit of the every pixel requires this many number of bits. So then you have to calculate that how many pixels are there, and then you have to accordingly multiply the number of bits required for each pixel and multiply by the number of pixels, total number of pixels. So then you can calculate the size in terms of either bits, bytes, kilobytes, whatever you want, or in form of MB, or in form of, and you all know that whenever we open an image, and we all know that in Windows also, whenever you open some images, and you can go and check. Sometimes it is, sometimes not, every time it is written that this image is having this size, right? So it depends upon, again, that how much bit is required to represent 1 pixel. So if you know that how much bit is required to represent 1 pixel, then you can calculate the number of bits required to represent the whole image. Accordingly, you can also convert it into its corresponding byte and megabyte size, right? Okay. Okay, thank you all. Have a good day. Again, we'll discuss some new interesting things. I will take 1 or 2 more classes to discuss all these prerequisites, and then we'll start with some mathematical things, which is really easy to understand. The algorithms are followed by few problems we'll discuss, and again, your job is to implement the algorithm, right? So the like line drawing algorithm and all, right? Okay, thank you all. Bye.